Sure Sales is proud to work with the Sqwincher Corporation, and this is our hydration technician class. You could either use this and play this video for your employees, or we would be happy to come teach this class at your facility. So let's get into a little bit about hydration. You notice we're not calling this a heat stress class because hydration is really the issue. So we're going to talk a little bit about hydration and dehydration. So when you look at the industrial worker, a couple things you need to know is a lot of workers already show up dehydrated when they get there. One of the things that could cause that is alcohol consumption prior to the shift the night before, or drinking a ton of coffee before they get there in the morning, or improper diet. Or they may experience other health issues. Many workers have diabetes or hypertension, and they already have those issues before they even get to work. Also, the physical fitness varies between different individuals. Some people are overweight, or they don't exercise, or they have a very poor diet. So that's what you're dealing with the industrial worker. So here's some of the pre-existing medical conditions. With diabetes, 11.3% of people in the United States already have diabetes. And how they're supposed to control it is they use insulin, or they work with a low carbohydrate, low sodium diet, and low sugar, obviously, as well. 33% of the workers already have some form of hypertension. And again, the way to work on that is a low sodium, low calorie diet and exercise. So 1/3 of all U.S. adults are obese. The South has the highest prevalence, followed by the Midwest, the Northeast, and then the West. So it's really important that a safe worker is a productive worker, and when the worker's capacity is impaired, so is his productivity. If they're not hydrated properly, that'll lead to a loss in productivity. When a worker is 2% dehydrated, they're also 20% less productive. So here's how you can become dehydrated. One is the environment. 2 is the amount of physical activity. Number 3 is pre-existing health conditions that we discussed. And number 4 is your diet. So some of the big symptoms of dehydration is a dry or sticky mouth, tiredness, dry skin, a headache, constipation, dizziness or lightheadedness. All of a sudden you notice you're not urinating as often. The color of your urine is yellow, and muscle cramps. So some severe dehydration symptoms are like irritability and confusion, sunken eyes, low blood pressure. You could have a rapid heartbeat or rapid breathing, a fever. There's little or no urination again, and in serious cases, they could have delirium, or they could become unconscious in serious cases. So the key is keeping tabs on the hydration. Your target level is basically clear urine. So we have urination posters if you want them. That's all you have to do is ask, and we'll get you urination posters. Also, your fluid loss. The result of fluid loss, 2% fluid loss could cause impaired performance. 4% could cause muscular function and capacity declination. So basically, you're not moving as good. 6% could cause heat exhaustion. 8% could cause hallucination. And 10% you could have a heat stroke. So there's a lot of dangers with job dehydration. Just losing 2 to 3% of the body's total water volume can result in a 20% decrease in energy levels. Then you could have memory issues and hand-eye coordination issues as well. So studies show that as dehydration sets in, it becomes difficult to focus and retain information. Even mild dehydration can cause headaches and fatigue. Sick employees are not only less productive at work, but also at home with their families. And then it also impacts your reaction time. Studies showed that a 3% dehydration slows reaction times as much as 0.08% blood alcohol level. This substantially increases the chances of a workplace accident. So some surprising factors that affect hydration are diet and nutrition. Drinking soda and energy drinks like a Monster or Rockstar or salty foods, they contribute to dehydration. Alcohol is a diuretic. It will definitely increase dehydration, your age. As you get older, your body starts having a tougher time retaining water. Altitude, which we have in the Rocky Mountains, we have a little bit of altitude here. Your urine output increases in altitude and your breathing increases, which equals vapor loss, which is dehydration. And lastly, medication. Many different medications can lead to dehydration. So just by the numbers, the average male should consume about 15.5 cups of water a day, and the average female about 11.5 cups per day, or 92 ounces. 128 ounces equals 1 gallon. So you could see a gallon a day would be a really good recommendation for males and females. OSHA, they might not mandate a heat stress program, but it's their recommendation to provide safe procedures and methods to maintain safety and recognize hazards. So they do have an OSHA quick card on hydration, which says drink plenty of fluids, drink often before you're thirsty, drink water every 15 minutes, provide a lot of cool water to workers close to the work area. So OSHA does have a quick card on hydration. Look, it's not just heat that causes dehydration. There's heat stress and there's cold stress. So on cold stress, believe it or not, you'll sweat between your skin and your winter clothing. When you exhale, you're releasing water. In cold weather, your urination increases. And in cold weather, a lot of people drink a ton of coffee, which is diuretic, which again makes you urinate. Your natural body exertion to maintain your core temperature like shivering can cause dehydration. In the hot weather, you'd have sweating, exhaling, urination. Your diuretic intake like soda. Again, soda pop is just going to dehydrate you like crazy. And then your natural body exertion to maintain core temperature. So some environmental factors that are going to cause cold stress are freezing temperature and wind chill, improper winter clothing or layering, the level of exertion or workload or strain, the direct exposure to that weather, machine equipment or contact. You're sitting in a very cold piece of equipment, your hydration neglect or poor diet in that weather, medical preconditions, and the lack of physical conditioning. And in the heat stress, you've got your high temperatures, your level of work exertion, your PPE and heavy clothing. The more PPE you wear, the hotter you're going to be. If you have poor airflow and circulation, again, hot machinery that you're working on, direct sunlight exposure, medical precondition, and the lack of physical conditioning. So we have heat stress and cold stress charts, including the wind chill. All you have to do is ask for these, and we'll get them to you. So there are many different heat-related illnesses that start on the low end with heat rash, work their way up to heat cramps, heat syncope, heat exhaustion, and then heat stroke. So I'm going to take you through each one real quickly. And here's how they go. Heat rash is basically you're going to have blister-like eruptions or bumps and itching. Treatment is get in a cool place, allow the skin to dry, and monitor for infection. The way you prevent it is you shower after working in a hot environment and keep the skin dry, and then training and education, which we're doing today. Heat cramps, the next on the list. Your signs would be spasms in the legs or abdomen, and you'd be grasping the affected area and possible heavy sweating. Your treatment would put firm pressure and massage the cramped area, rest in a cool place, or drink water or an electrolyte drink. Seek medical attention if cramping is severe or does not go away. And then prevention would be adequate water and salt intake at meals. Don't use salt tablets, and training and education. Heat syncope. Your signs would be, this is getting a little bit more severe. You'd have fainting or dizziness. It would be a precursor to heat exhaustion. Again, your treatment would be to rest in a cool area or drink plenty of water and electrolytes. Your prevention would be, the way you prevent is acclimatization to the environment that you're working in, Again, drink plenty of water and electrolytes, and avoid standing in one place and move to avoid the blood pooling. And again, training and education. So you knew that if these things start to happen, to get into a cool place. With heat exhaustion, the signs would be headaches, weakness, mood changes, feeling sick to your stomach, or extreme sweating, pale and clammy skin. Again, your treatment would be to move to a cool, shaded area and loosen and remove your heavy clothing. Have a person drink cool water and electrolytes. After a few minutes with no improvement, call for emergency help. And your prevention, again, is acclimatization to the area. Drink plenty of water and electrolytes, and training and education. Lastly, the scary one is heat stroke. You would have pale skin, nausea, vomiting, mood changes, and confusion, or a fever over 104 degrees. Your treatment would be call 911. It's a medical emergency. Remove the heavy clothing and drink small amounts of water or electrolytes. Don't chug them. That could cause vomiting. Your prevention would be acclimatization. Drink plenty of water and electrolytes, and medical screening, training, and education. So let's talk a little bit about electrolytes and how to replace them. Electrolytes are basically minerals in your body: magnesium, sodium, potassium, and calcium. The key is to stay hydrated and focused with a proper electrolyte hydration program. Take a look at this guy's hat right here. See that white stuff right there? That's these minerals coming out through his sweat onto his hat. A good way to replenish electrolytes are nutrition with fruits and vegetables. It's difficult to provide at work. Electrolyte beverages, and drink plenty of water. So there are 3 different formulations of Sqwincher. One is regular Sqwincher, which is basically sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Then there's Everlight, the new brand, that is real sugar, real cane sugar. And there's no preservatives, there's no dyes in it, no artificial sweeteners. And then Sqwincher Zero, really good for diabetics because there's 0 sugar in it. It's made with sucralose. So if you look at the powder, we have regular Sqwincher, and then we've got our Zero Sqwincher, and then we've got our Everlight powder. Our single serve powders: Quick Serve, Everlight Stick, Sqwincher Zero in a single serve, Fast Pack Zero, and Fast Pack Liquid Concentrate. And lastly, Sqwincher Squeeze, which is basically frozen squeeze pop. Everlight is a new product that replaces a bottle, and these are 100% real sugar. There's no high fructose corn sweetener, no artificial flavors, no chemical preservatives, no artificial dyes. And we have 2 flavors, grape and fruit punch. Ultra Concentrate is available in fruit punch or orange, and it's concentrated Sqwincher. And again, this product is 0. So it's sugar-free. There's no high fructose corn sweetener, low calorie and low sodium, and no dyes or colors. The resources available to you: we've got our Sqwincher website, sqwincher.com, white papers, videos and webinar training, heat stress, cold stress prevention for workers, and posters and charts. All you have to do is ask. Thank you very much for your time.